guess we're live. All right, I guess we're live. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess we're live, huh? Anybody in here? Probably not. Yeah, well, not sure what I'll talk about or if I'll talk about anything. See if anybody shows up. All right, well, I'm not just gonna sit here. Get this mic in here a little closer. I got a job out here that I'm doing. It's a 73, 74-ish. I can't. Maybe it's a little earlier. I can't remember. And there's no compression in the bottom. So what do I do? Well, I took the head off, and I discovered the bottom cylinder had no compression. It was like 30 psi, something like that. Anyway, it's pretty brutal. So I took that head off and I looked inside there, and for the most part, the only thing that I could really see was that there wasn't really much to see. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this while I'm looking at the screen, but it would it didn't really look like it had hardly any scuff marks. It didn't look like it didn't really look like much of nothing, you know. And notice the bolts were real loose, so I took it off, took the head off. The gasket looked pretty good. Didn't look bad at all. But it was all the bolts were kind of loose. So I thought, well, yeah, I don't know, how much do I really want to do on this? Because it's not my motor. If it were my motor, maybe I would just completely tear it down. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if I want, maybe when it's snowing or something, I'll just tear this thing apart. It's not much to this motor. It's got good spark, so that's fine, But if I tear it down, I gotta tear it completely apart, And I thought maybe I could hone it and take a couple thousandths off and check my end gap and whatnot and see if it's rebuildable, if I can get some compression back. Um, so I have a manual I got offline. I don't remember where I got this. I've had it for a long time, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it looks old. Here's a good picture of it. It's like, I mean, it's, this thing is very old. I don't even know what year this covers, but this is pretty much all the ones this year. Here's a cool little, looks like almost like a black and white drawing. Which it is, I guess. And I don't know how they would have done this back then, but shows you everything. Your fuel pump. Look, it's a square pump, old square one. Anyway, and I was going through this because I thought, well, there's no sense if you don't know what the tolerances and that is, then you're kind of screwed. So in here, they give you, this says 20 CD 25, CDL 25. Anyway, this is going to be pretty much about all of them. Two cylinder, two stroke, two cycle, and bore and stroke, 1 and 15/16 bore. Yeah, it's a 1.5 inch stroke. So anyway, it gives you all this stuff. Piston ring sets, there's 3 per set. So standard is 020, 20,000s. Diameter ring 1.9375. Ring width. It's pretty cool because it does give you lots of different, So one of the things I was wondering right away, I was like, well, what is the, what are those bolts supposed to be like? So look, right down here is the torque. Cylinder head screws, 60 to 80 inch-pounds. That's why it didn't feel like a lot. So I don't know how to put this back on and torque it to this and see if for some reason they were loose and it was giving us a false reading, and there actually are trying to get some compression back, or should I tear it completely down and then go in there and check the ring gap? And anyway, it's got this piston ring gap, so it gives you the tolerance. And piston ring groove, that's where the ring is inside that groove, gives you a tolerance. And piston and cylinder, so this is, but it also gives you clearance short. Let's see, where was it at? Gives you like spark plug gap and torque and all this, but I was looking for, so I can tell you guys, crankshaft size, hole, maybe it was right where it was. Oh yeah, in play, right here. Connecting rod bearings, piston end, crankshaft. So it gives you some tolerances. I could go in and measure and make sure they're all right. I don't know, it's hard to say. But thought, well, hey, we'll give it a whirl. Might as well, right? So I don't know if anybody's in here or not. Oh, it looks like I got a few people. So if you're in here, holler back, hit that chat button, and let me know you're watching. So appreciate that. And that's one of the projects I got going, is that I'm looking at this engine and trying to figure out, well, what I want to do. I got another one of these Johnson Evinrudes out in the shed that is locked up. It's a little bitty one. I don't know. It's probably only a 5 horse or something like that. It's not very big. And I was gonna, it's been several days, and several days. It's been several years, and I haven't done anything. So I may just sit out there. I may just say, I don't want to do this, and I'll just put the head back on and see if I get some more compression out of it. And if I don't, just tell them to come get it. So, hey Harold, what's going on? What's going on in Indiana? Is that, are you freezing your rear off out there, or what? It's not too bad here. It's a little colder today. It's like 40. So far we're dodging bullets. We haven't seen anything real cold, and I'm glad for that. But yeah, this is a pretty cool little manual I got here. I'll go through it. What's up, Lost Viking? Good to see you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was just going over this old manual. It's pretty cool. OMC Type A, Type C, oil can, grease can. I mean, I like these old manuals. They're kind of, it's kind of interesting. If you're gonna start out rebuilding something, like totally tearing it down, something like this or like an old lawnmower engine is like perfect. It's kind of like what you want to do. Yeah, it is a cool manual. I mean, I don't know where I got this. I've had this for a while. I mean, it goes through everything back then, 73. I think 72, 73. I like that it's got you know, the, for the carburetor, man, because some of those old carburetors they had a lot of changes. So they had, these. They had this little knob, and some of them had a little thing, a little jet down here. Some of them were closed off. Here's a good one. Washer, orifice. Called it orifice. It was a jet, but they called it back then. They called it orifice. And here's how to remove the Welch plug. They call it core plug. And there's an old rewind starter. It's pretty neat, That's how they are. These things were notorious for plastic pieces just getting so worn you can't fix them. And I think this was, oil drain valve. That's interesting. Oh, this is in a can. Yeah, see, these were the old cans that had the float. You get one of those, man, they're gonna be worth something. Well, they made so many though. It's kind of crazy. And then here's a good picture of condenser breaker points, coils. Awesome ice fishing. That's something I've never done. I think it would be fun. Back in my beer drinking days, that would have been a lot of fun. You get a whole group of guys and sit around a hole. Now they got it all crazy too. Like, see now here, this is a trip. See, like this manual, and I found a bunch of them like this, old Johnson Evinrude manuals. You'll go along and see how this is all this way. Now, this page is upside down, and what's crazy about it is this is the page where I have to watch how far I get into the mic. This is the page where it gives you really detailed information to understand how this thing works the way it works. And it's all of a sudden you're like, I'm reading this upside down. I can't, what's going on? But it wasn't in the book like that, I guarantee. So you'll go down like these couple pages, or at least that one. It's got the information in it that like you really need, and you're like, you gotta really. Anyway, I finally got me one of these flywheel pullers. Yeah, well, the manuals do help you now. I mean, they're just, I don't know, they're different in how they look, you know. So yeah, what I did. Trying to learn this software I got. So what do you guys want to talk about? A couple of guys that got in here. Is there anything in particular? I guess I got that job going on. I got this big job with this OMC boat out here, and he's putting on a lot of electronics. I got the new trolling motor put on, and I got some of the graphs and the batteries and all that stuff is going to be coming after Christmas, and I'll be doing some videos on that. And I just released a video yesterday, which I'm sure you guys saw. It was on that switch. Oh yeah. A Firestone? No, I'm not. I don't know anything about it. Never even heard of it, to be honest with you. I'm getting used to this thing. I think it's better than last time I shot, man. I wasn't real impressed with that. Matter of fact, I was like, I gotta get out of here. I was looking up some Garmin stuff, and here's the their website. They were showing their echo map. I was thinking that's probably the new thing everybody is gonna latch onto is Garmin's they're gonna drop something new. I know they are. This is that Ultra 2, so I bet you they come out with Ultra 3. I'd like to have one of these though. Because I mean, forward facing sunlight really be nice. Alright, thanks, Harold. And it is a good motor, Harold. I mean, this one out here, man, I was kind of surprised when I fired it up for the first time after replacing everything. Because when I first looked at it, I knew that you know, the ignition system wasn't working. So, you know, I don't know. You know, you kind of go through this stuff and like, okay, what's wrong? I'm not seeing, you know, and anyway, yeah, I kind of, you know, was like, okay, well, I know it needs all new electronics. So we did that and set the timing like I always do. And first start up, it just fired right up. And really, the first startup I didn't have really on video because it was raining. And I wanted to just like kind of get it going where, you know, it's like see just, I don't know, just to see how good it would do, and I was shocked. I smoked a bunch. I mean, I smoked a lot. Yeah, I mean, it smoked a lot. But it fired right up. So, I was pretty happy about that. Yeah, it was. It was crazy. It's kind of like, I bet my neighbor's like, what the heck is going on, man? Too bad that wouldn't happen in the summer. It got rid of all the mosquitoes and skeeters. I mean, if you, yeah, I did delete the VRO pump on it. That was something he wanted, and I don't know. It's really up to them. I mean, there's pluses and minuses to it. Those pumps are very expensive once they go. You can get a kit and rebuild it. Like you can change the diaphragms in the pump, but um, yeah, I don't know if that's the best answer. I mean, I think you can just do one of those double pumps like I got and put on there and get rid of all that. It's a little chore though because you gotta know, like, oh, okay, this use this line or that line. If you follow me, you can do it, or you can buy the other pump. The other pump is very very expensive. And that, I think EMP may be the only one making that one. I don't know. Johnson Evinrude parts. That's gonna get even harder and harder because they just you know said that they were getting rid of Alumacraft and I think Manitou. That stupid boat where they had the motor was underneath on the pontoon. It's underneath it. It's in the back. It's underneath. I didn't get it. Anyway, because I mean, you need it to tilt up and down. It's like if you're in shallow water, what does it do? I don't know. But yeah, see if I can find. Check my stream here real quick. Yeah, what could Kurt be here? All right. No, on that. Let's see if I can find them. I don't know what to ask here. Let's see if something will come up here. Uh, yeah, BRP launches process for the sale of its marine businesses. See, I mean, it's going away. So, it what would be amazing is if they would sell the name Johnson Avenue to somebody, and somebody take it back over. But they're so far behind the eight ball that like it would be you'd be crazy. And nobody like Mercury or anybody's gonna do that. But yeah, let's see here. Power sports products, ski doo, ski doo maker safe radio host so Limacraft, Manitou, and Tailwater. All boat makers, as well as a marine parts, accessories, and apparel business by May of 2025. That means, what I mean, to decode that, that means that uh, it's going to be really hard to get those parts. Yeah, that's cool. It doesn't hurt anything to put a little extra oil. Um, just check your spark plugs more than you normally would, because they may foul a little more, like especially if you're trolling, but it's not gonna hurt anything. It's probably a good thing. Looks like we might have lost. Yeah. Well, we got a couple of you guys came by, and I really appreciate that. I really do. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, anything you guys want me to touch on? I'm just kind of doing this and having fun doing it. Pulled up that Echo Map manual. Just kind of curious about a few things, actually. One thing was like, oh, here it was, device configuration. I was trying to see, like, how it networked, but it says that it networks, up to, yeah, I brought out, some of my mics. I got a couple of them. I settled on this one, although I have this one here up as well. And it's a little different sounding. I don't know that I like it. If I read that one away. And this one sounds much better. It's one of my old mics I've had for years. And I tried to up my game on this deal, so I learned how to do OBS Studio, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I've got a bunch of this stuff laying around. I have mic pre's and you name it. How does it sound? Does it sound alright? It sounds alright in my headphones. Sounds like it's normal. Anyway. Low, had to turn it TV way up. Okay. Well, let's see here if we do. See if that. I don't know. See if this helps. Let me give it a little more juice. Test, test. Hey, yeah. I was just trying to do it because I was in my headphones. It sounded right, so I don't know. I mean, it does look a little low over here. I used to could mix with my eyeballs because I could look down at the console and go, well, that EQ's not right. That level's not right. And I would like literally do what my eyeballs told me, and then everybody, oh yeah, that's right. That's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. So yeah, is that better? I got a little closer. When I get real close, it seems like it distorts a little. So I don't know. You said about the same, huh? Wow. Okay. Wow, I just turned it up too. Huh. Maybe there's something going on the output side. I wonder. Test that now and see if that helped a lot. Because that's on my monitor. I don't know. It's digitally hooked up, so I'm looking at a meter. Alarm is on when he's idling. What kind of? It's a Yamaha VMAX. Um, does he know what the water pressure is? Does he have a Does he have a smart gauge or anything like that? Because it could be, like he has a low water pressure and it's like getting a little hot, or is alarm because the pressure's low, or I mean, it's a VMAX. Um, Either that or the RPMs at idle are too low. I don't, I'm not sure that, or there is. I, what year is that? 2000. Motor temp is okay. I mean, I would maybe look at is that a 2000 VMAX? I would maybe wonder want to know like if the fuel pressure in the fuel rails is a little low, like your low pressure fuel pump. I think that one's just like the Mercury's, where it has a little manual pump that goes into what they call like a VST, and it could be one of those pumps is a little like it's not maybe pumping enough low pressure, if that makes sense. There's probably a few different things that could cause that. You know, I don't know. But no one. I want to know. Know like what's the temperature of the motor just idling. Just looking at a couple of those. Who else we got in here? Yeah. So yeah, we're just hanging out. Hmm. Yeah. I mean that's a tough one. If you're idling around a lot, and I would check that low fuel pressure, and then maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say without it being out there, but if he hadn't changed the water pump a long time, I would change that. But if he's got good water pressure at idle, then that's not it. It's not a cooling thing. I mean, it could. I guess it could be like thermostats, but or a poppet valve, or if for some reason he's getting you know, I mean, I almost gotta hook that one up to a computer and just see what it says, like low oil pressure or something like that. So right now we got 3 people. All right. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I guess once everybody found out, they all went out and bought that Bass Pro Shops deal, and once they got it, they found out it's just a down image model. It wasn't a side image. It wasn't an MSI. It was a DSI. I bet they were mad. I mean, you know, when there's something like that, sometimes that can be real hard to figure out. Really, they should take it, put it in the water, drive it around, and look at the data. Because he could be just getting I don't know, one of the sensors is throwing the alarm. You know, that year, yeah, that's when they first started that stuff, you know, and they're still, like, compared to, like, cars or something, they're still way behind the 8 ball because, you know, they just are. They, they just now really started messing with CAN bus 10 years ago. Well, maybe a little more than that. Probably 25 years with CAN bus, but you know, their first CAN bus, like they were probably like, we don't even, you know, like, I don't know. But now, like that 4-stroke that you got, it's got lots of CAN bus stuff. So, you know, they've gotten a lot better with it. And there's not as many, I don't know. If you think about a car now with all the different modules, the body modules and stuff you got that's CAN bus, then it's a lot. Whereas like an outboard motor, it's not near as many. So I should have probably prepared, and then I kind of had some other stuff that I kind of covered, but I don't. I'm just trying to get this thing up and going, and then maybe this summer or something, it'll get better. More things to talk about, or I'll just do it just every once in a while. And go out and do a bunch of gear, you know, looking at gear and stuff. Well, is everybody ready for Christmas? Got all your gifts, all the stuff you're gonna give to everybody. I'm not. It kind of came fast for me this year. I mean, I'm ready. I don't have to buy near as much stuff as I did whenever I was younger. So, you know, that's a good thing. Since everything's higher than Hitler's gas bill. I guess I can't say that. You know, I shouldn't say that. I gotta watch what I say because I don't want to get, you know, in trouble. So, you know, it's a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. Yeah, I hope they do too. Everybody likes new rod and reels. I mean, every time I buy something, it's like I bought a new, what do you call it? What are those hole diggers? Those, it's you know, those dirt diggers, whatever, those hole diggers. It's like a V-bore deal, and you know, I got it today and put it together, fired it up. But I want to use it. I gotta use it out here to dig some holes that I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna do, I'm gonna extend my fence out, and I decided that, you know, like I'm just gonna get one of them instead of. So I played Santa to myself. Is what I did. An excuse to go out and play with power tools. You know what I mean? Yeah, an auger. There you go. Hey, what's up, Rich? I've got like I gotta run. I'm gonna run some pipe out for one of the gutters, the downspouts, so I can get the water away from the house and stuff. And then I got the fence I'm gonna do. And then on the side of the house over here, I wanted to build a little, like homes, like a box or something. You know, put some shingles over the top of it where I can kind of tuck all my oil cans and old gas and old funnels and stuff, and maybe it has a couple little doors, maybe it doesn't. You know, all pressure treated where I can just reach in there and grab it. So it doesn't look like a big bunch of, well, we are rednecks, but you know, it doesn't look too bad, too trashy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna. I bet it's gonna be tough to get old Chucky to get out here with an auger. I'm gonna get him to tell me where to put them. Like put the hole here, okay, and then he's an ex carpenter that doesn't want to do any carpenter work. Yeah, but I'm hoping it doesn't like tear my arm off because you know that wouldn't be fun. So yeah, I don't know if this. You guys let me know about the audio on this. Hey, thanks you guys for tuning in. I appreciate that. Oh well, thanks, man. Sometimes, like I told Rich the other day, I was like, man, I'm getting kind of burnt. I'm making repair videos. I was trying to figure out, what else I need to do, and then of course it's winter time, so. I've had my champion 5 years now, maybe. What's up, Kingfish? Yeah, I think I've had my champion for about 5 years, I guess. Maybe longer. Time flies, you know. Yeah, I was kind of like told Rich I was getting a little bored, but then when I'm sitting around thinking about stuff, I'm like, man, I could do this or could do that, and then YouTube is like, for me, they ain't paying a lot. I can tell you that. Well, thank you, Kingfish. I appreciate that. Usually when I'm making these, like I edit them, and then I'm like, man, I don't have a video. I just don't have a video. And then I start editing it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. It's kind of cool. This, like, I didn't think I had one this last week. And I was like, I'm just taking a week off. And then I edited that one the other day. And I was like, this is a pretty good video. I mean, especially like people, like some things, like are real simple. And yeah, like, man, that helps a lot just having this and like that switch. It's like, man, well, that's true. You kind of putting yourself out there, so you know. Uh, Champions are getting hard to find. Um, they're they're kind of they're on both ends of the spectrum. They're either really junked out and it's a complete rebuild, or you got one that somebody has decked it out to the nines, where it's like it's got grass and power poles and brand new motor and all this stuff, and it costs $30,000. You know, like Chuck's, it'd be thirty-two, $32,000. It's a lot of money, you know. Well, that OMC boat, I mean, yours is I can't remember yours. I think yours is a Javelin too. Those are the same. I think it was the same manufacturer that made a lot. Like, I don't know if it was Earl Benz. He, I think he must have had something to do with it because, like the Stratos, this Javelin, they're almost identical. Like it's the same mold, but it's a different name. And like yours, Rich, man, that's a nice boat. It's pretty solid. Like I was afraid to stand in it the other day, and then I was like, yeah, this is a pretty solid boat, even without that top cap. Like some pieces that are missing, it's still great. You know, and totally rebuildable. That's the thing. I think if you're gonna buy a boat, an old boat, buy like one of these or an old Champion or something. Totally get it, and then build it. It's kind of like a house anyway. You get it, and then you're like, oh, I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix this. I want to do this to it, and then you just build it the way you want it. Well, you can't beat that if it's in a heated barn. That's the best case scenario. Luckily, Tennessee's weather is not that rough. So if you got it under a carport, it's fine. Uh, Mine is a little short, but I think anything after 2004, 2005, uh, you know, you got composite hulls and transoms and stuff, and so a lot of those boats they're never gonna rot. Yeah, I bet Kingfish because there are. That's matter of fact, that's where I got mine. I got mine down there in Mobile, and I brought it all the way back to Nashville because that's the 202s especially they're pretty hard to find. 198s, 203s, 210s, 202s are really hard to find. I mean they're out there. I'm not saying they're not out there. They're out there, but finding one is kind of a thing. So I don't know. Um, they were made mostly, I think, in Mount Home, Arkansas. So that's not too far from you guys. But they also were made in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, not far from here. I found this out later. And actually, one of the guys from Champion, not one of the original guys, but he was the Murfreesboro Champion guy, and he whenever they kind of, I guess they bellied up, he was the one that started Phoenix. So those all the Phoenix bass boats, I don't know if they're splashed holes or if they just came up with their own design. I don't I don't know the history of that per se, but and the other thing like the Skeeters, they had kind of a, I guess they talk to each other, Champion and Skeeter. I like Skeeter a lot. There's a lot of old boats. I mean, you can't put a gamble down. I mean, there's certain brands that were great boats. I personally never cared for like the Rangers. They were kind of really heavy, and they always seemed like they plowed through the water a lot. It still seems like that's what they do. And of course, I don't care for the nitros. And you should see that every once in a while when the water's rough out on a priest, I see the nitros. Nothing against you nice nitro guys. Everybody loves their boat, right? They love their boat. And if their brand, they like that brand, I ain't got no problem with that. But I can tell you, like, I've seen several, like, Tritons and uh, nitros, and I'll be up running on the water, like, pretty big swells, and they're struggling. I mean, they're just slamming into the water, having a hard time. So, kingfish, do you fish offshore, or are you doing like the bayous, or okay? The intruder had all those plastic carbs though. That's the only thing I hate a lot of those with the plastic carbs, man. It's just like once you open them up, man, it's like opening a can of worms. You got to be real careful. Then you can't clean them real. You can't get them real hot. The ultrasonic, you can put them ultrasonic cleaner, but you better turn that heat down. Of course, they were made to clean pretty easy. I don't know. They just scare me. Let's see. Well, yeah, this is fun. Oh, hope I didn't just end my stream. Yeah, still live. Wow. I was afraid I just ended my stream. What? Hang with me, guys. I think I made a mistake here. It says I'm live. I hope I'm still live. I think I am. Details. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Had that open. I didn't mean that. Just 1 second. Yeah, we're still up. The Ultrex. Which... the Ultrex. Are you talking about the old one I had, or because I have all that new stuff? You know, I don't have anything used. I sold my old one. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it looks like I'm fine. I clicked out of that one menu and I thought, oh man, I hope I didn't really screw up. Yeah, I just thought this manual here was pretty neat. I bought one of these pullers. This is kind of cool because it tells you the proper way to really do your spark plug gap. That, I'm sure I do it wrong, but it's fine. It doesn't mess with the electrode if you're careful. This is cool because they have the. I'd like to find one of these old machines just to have. I don't know why. I don't really want to mess with a points motor. And then they have these things. I don't have one of these. I always figured it out. It's like it's a timing fixture thing to set your points. I never thought I needed it. And this is another thing that's kind of cool. They made it a little Noid light. You can make one of these out of a little plastic light you can get over like at Dollar General. Get one of those little lights and make one. I thought about doing that once. Oh yeah, here's where this was. I was looking this up for that motor because I was like, oh, you know, like here's the diagram and everything. But I wanted to see. Well, for one thing, you know, where do they show you to check your measurements and that? And you know, it's like where's it at? It shows you like the bread liner. Yeah, like you can hone it. I can do all this stuff. I may still do it. I don't know. I guess here you go. Checking ring gap in the cylinder. That way, you know. So take the piston out and then put that ring back in there and see what your ring gap is. Oh yeah, and then this is how to measure, you know, see how they push the ring aside and then they're measuring this distance right here. There's no tolerance, it ain't gonna work. Anyway, I thought that was cool. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Alright, well, we've been on here for a while. Um, wish it would tell you like how long you're on. I don't know if that tells us in somewhere. I think it tells us that. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Oh yeah, I've been on here for about an hour. You guys got any more questions or anything? I'd love to answer anything. Otherwise, I'll peel off the line until I got something better to talk about. You'll probably get Chucky out here so we can do some high comedy. Right now, he's got transmission problems. And he ain't going fishing. Well, he could. He could take Dad's truck. Let's see here. My favorite rod. You know, I'm cheap. So, I don't have really a favorite one. I've got a few out there that I was like, I just, I got, and I was like, you know how it is, like in your hand, like you get it. Like I look for all the ones. I don't know if it's cheap or it's expensive. It's all about how it feels in my hand. So, I've always been like that. Like it goes back to musician days. Like not like I was ever really a musician. I was just like you go get a guitar. You had to put it in your hands and feel it because everyone feels different. And then the one that's like right. And then there's so many techniques. It's hard to just come up with one. So you gotta know what the difference between your rods are. Like medium, fast, heavy action, fast taper, all this stuff. So it kind of depends on what you're fishing for, or well that, but also like what technique you're using. So a spinnerbait rod, is going to be different than say like a worm rod, you know. Um, but I don't know, like I've got Shimano's, I got some of those wave rods. I don't remember who makes those. I got one that I got from the guy that owns Finn's Tackle Shop, and I really like that rod, and I really like it was a combo, and it's fantastic. And one time we were on our way up to Illinois and we stopped in at Dunn's Tackle Shop and they had some combos there. And we were just gonna get my uncle Scotty. Me and my brother both went in and we bought him this rod. It was only $100, and it was a combo. But like the real, I don't remember if it. I think it was Abu Garcia, and that reel, it it was like I'm gonna say it had um, 8 ball bearings, 8 or 10 ball bearings. Anyway, it was great, and so we went fishing one after we given it to him, and I got to throw it, and I was like, man, this thing is awesome, and it's the one that's like you probably remember it. It was a bright orange, man. It's like neon orange color, and it was white and neon orange. It was like the ugliest thing you've ever seen. And I was like, on the way back, I'm stopping again. I'm buying me one of those. So then I bought one, or what? Chucky bought one. Chucky, that's what it was. Chucky bought one. I didn't buy one. Um, or did I buy? I can't remember. I think yeah, Chuck was like, we both comment, man. So I got one, and this, I don't know. Anyway, the short of it is that thing is great. I mean, it really is. Um, so, I don't know much about the crappie rods because I just don't do as much of that. And if I do, like I used to go out with one of Dad's old rods. It was like a pistol grip handle, like a, you know, and it's only 5 feet long. And then the crappie guys was laughing at me because they had these like 4,700 feet long rod, you know, dropping it over on trees and stuff. And I was like, well, if I'm going to start doing any of that, I'm going to have to look at. But that thing was, 5 foot rod was fine because we were doing like bluff walls and dropping it down like 25 feet, on cover. So it worked for me. I don't know. Zepco, yeah. I think Chucky's got a couple of them old Zepcos, like 303s. Um, I know he's got a couple of those in the house. Maybe a couple of those reels. There's a bunch of Dad's old stuff in there, and there's some old, like Abu Garcia open pace from the '80s, and who knows what those things are worth? Probably nothing, but I like to think they are. Let me pull this out. This is by yeah. Here's an old. Well, that's a new. What? I got images. What's going on? Oh, here we go. Classic. One of these dudes. Sevco 33 Classic. Everybody started out with that one. Dad used to dip them in the water, to lubricate them up before he'd throw. And we laugh about that now. We're like, man, you're just tearing up your reel. I was trying to think of, like, Let me see if I can remember what it is. Yeah, it wasn't an ambassador, but it was Abu Garcia. See if I can find it. Yeah, like some of these old ones. I got a bunch of these. Well, I should say me and Chucky do. Like we have one of these. And then yeah, 55. This is it. So we have some of these. Like this is a C3 6501. I don't know if we have any of those. I think I don't remember if we do or not. With a 40-year rat's nest. That's funny. I like the Dobbins rods too. I think those are good rods. They're expensive, so they better be good. Here's there's a deadline for Christmas. Get your order in now. Champion Extreme HP. I mean, man, those are really everything rods have come a long way. Got Fuji eyes. You know, instead of Betty Davis eyes, just Fuji eyes. I like the cork handles too. I think, you know, because every time, like, I was throwing a spinnerbait one day. I was just wearing, I mean, it was probably 6 hours of throwing a spinnerbait all over the place. So I took a real short run and went over to this spot, picked up our rod, and went boom and threw. You know, and of course I threw that thing as far as I could throw it, and I threw the whole rod and everything right out of my hand. And I'm like, what the, you know, and you're like, oh no. And so then I'm like, what do I do? You know, so I pick up another rod and I'm throwing it, trying to see if I can hook the line, you know, to try to get that rod. And I never, I mean, I was right on top of it. I was in like 35 feet of water. I was on a bluff wall. So I was throwing that, you know, I think the nearest thing I had that would go, I had a crankbait. So it wasn't going that deep. I was cranking the heck out of it, trying to grab a hold of that line. Well, I know it was sinking, and it just sunk right to the bottom. And so then I was like, I started going over it, see if I could see it. I could totally see it on my down scan, but I couldn't even get anywhere. I was like, well, there went $125. Yeah, it just was what it was. And then one time, um, I'd bought a brand new net, and this time I thought I'm gonna spend a little extra on my net, you know. So I get it, And I'm pretty sure it was like the first or maybe the second time we went out with it. And we got on this hump and we was fishing, you know, and I was in the front running a trolling motor, and I reached over to grab a rod and I kicked that net and kicked it right out of the boat. And I was like, oh man, I just bought that. You know, and I was mad. I was really mad, you know, because I was like, man, I just bought that. I paid a little extra for that, you know. And so then uh, a little while went by. I don't know how long, 5, 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, Chucky's like, I got one, you know. And we hadn't really, it was real calm water, so we hadn't moved anywhere. He's like, I got one. He's acting like he's really struggling. He's got one, man. He's got one. And then he pulled up my net that I'd kicked off, and it was, so I got it back. It was great. You know, I had one of those lure retrievers, and I bought one, and I mean, I probably got, I don't lose as many lures as I used to, but I'd lost a crankbait, you know, this is Percy Priest, got hung up on another piece of wood, and so I threw that lure retriever down there, and I could feel it. It knocked it out, but then that thing got hung up on something. I don't know, piece of braid. Might have been a line. Might be like Rich said, you know, channel marker. And I finally had to just cut that rope. You know, it's because it's got pretty thick rope on it. I had to cut it, and I think that was the second one that I'd lost. And I was like, oh, that's it. You know, because those things are then I don't know what they are now. Let me see how much they are, because I may buy them. Saying this, but yeah, I might just do that. Where's my current? Yeah, see if I can find one, because you know, it's like it did retrieve quite a few lures, but then but you know, I was like, man, this thing was kind of expensive. That's not too bad, $10. It was probably that then. Yeah, I don't remember. Here's Brable. See what they want. 44. One of these with a pole. That doesn't work. Not when you're in deep water. I think this was probably the one that I bought. I don't remember it looking like this. It's been a while. 4 or 5 years. Oh, the one I had a little thing that you could use you know, that you could wind up. Sorry. Yeah, it had a little handle. You could wind it up. Yeah, I guess I could get a magnet. I know there's some guys, that is, I got on kick for a while and watch those guys with the magnets, and they go and see what they can dredge up, especially around the bridges, you know. I knew a guy one time, probably shouldn't tell that story, but it's pretty funny. He's a good friend of mine. going by his house, and I was like, well, his car's not there, you know. He had a, then it was like, I don't know, it was like a Mustang or something. And I went by there about every day. I get off school and drive past, and he wasn't there. He was like, I was still in school, but he was a year older, so he was already out. And I was like, man, he ain't never home, wondering what's going on, you know. So this went on for a while, man, like 2, 3 weeks. Finally, I was like, man, I never see his car there, you know. I would just stop. And so finally, I was like, man, I'll stop, you know. So I went out there. Oh, I know what it was. So I was driving. I was driving into town, and we lived out in the boonies where there's these strip pits, and I was driving through there, you know, and I looked over. I won't say who it is or anything because I don't want to get him in trouble. But I looked over, and there was this car floating out in the middle of this pond. You know, it's kind of a strip pit. I mean, it's a pond. They might call it a lake. But, you know, I said, man, that looks like such and such car. And I was like, oh, that's pretty weird, you know, like, what it'd be doing out in the middle of this thing. And so then I thought, I stop over there, you know, and talk to him. So I stopped over there, and I was like, hey, man. He's like, oh, he's all nervous when he come to the door, you know. He's like, hey, you know, looking around, like, twitchy and stuff. He's like, hey, come in here, you know. So then I come in there, and he goes, I said, hey, man, I ain't seen your car, you know. It's pretty weird, though. I seen this car floating out. It kind of looked like your car, you know. He's like, his eyes got big. He's looking at me. He's freaking out, you know. He's like, man, he goes, he tells me, he says, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford the insurance, couldn't afford the payment and everything. He goes, I decided to just drive it off in the strip pit. He goes, and it floated. I didn't know it was going to keep floating. You know, he's like, I had to go out there with a sledgehammer and break the windshield to get it to sink. And I was like, what? I'm looking at him going, I don't want to know this information. This is not good for me to know this, you know. And so I just kind of was like, hey man, I'm sorry, you know, we really can't hang out. Anyway, that's my story. Yeah, I bet. I'm so used to Percy Priest now and losing like 3XDs and stuff, especially like those lipless crankbaits. I'm over it, man. I'm just like, I know I'm going to lose a bait, and I'm good with it because I know it's going to happen, but I also know they'll catch fish. So, I don't know. You troll for those crappies a lot, I would imagine. You probably get hung up sometimes. That's got to be bad too. If it pulls your, you don't really know, and you're just trolling. So I guess the next video I'll do, I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do because I don't have anything in the can. I got stuff coming up just thinking about it. I mean, I got a couple of water pumps I've done. You know, like I've done water pumps for days. Um, Riches will be cool because they're gonna set up a network. You know, we're gonna have this one boat network that's gonna show you everything, and got the batteries all taken care of. So I get home from after Christmas, and Merry Christmas to all you guys, by the way. If I didn't say it earlier, I don't know, but yeah, we're gonna set that up, and then in the meantime, I gotta try to figure out what I want to shoot, and you know, I guess just it'll come to me. The Christmas show. Yeah, I guess so. I need a Christmas hat. You know, one of those Santa Claus hats. Yeah. Then you get Chucky to come out here, but probably can't get him to come out here at all. Not at all. I'm gonna text him and see what he says. Maybe we'll call him.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Chilling.
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 We got some guys out here asking about you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm chilling.
Well, you want to wish them a Merry Christmas?
What's that song? I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Okay.
You know that song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rich said he can't wait to see you, like, you know, run that there auger. See?
Oh, on that.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a while because, you know, that ground is going to get hard as a rock here pretty soon.
Well, we ain't got to do it real soon. We can do it, like, real soon.
Well, Christmas is coming up. I'm retired right now.
You're retired. Okay. So does that mean you were tired and then you got more tired?
No, it just means that, you know, Christmas is here and I'm chilling.
Okay. And just wanted to clarify, you know, for the peoples out here.
The peoples?
Yeah, the peoples.
Is that some pluralage?
Pluralage, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, Harold, I don't do carpet.
Do what?
Harold asked if I do carpet. Show the stuff we don't see. Okay. I don't know.
Well, it's just a bunch of farting and laughing and acting silly,
Pretty much.
you know.
Yeah. Harold said Chuck needs to get a big boy truck to pull that boat around.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, he is. It's like trying to pull a big 20-foot boat with a
Okay.
Ford Escort.
Well, hey, man. Go big or go home, huh?
Yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah. Well, it's mismatched. I'm trying to pull a 20-foot boat with a Geo Metro.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine that? Trying to hook up a...
Hey, I've seen a few of those at the boat ramp, actually.
Oh, you see the squirreliest stuff at boat ramps. If you want the best entertainment, free of charge, just go to a boat ramp.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially like Memorial Day. That's like the best day ever.
Yeah, that's when all the non-boaters think they're professional boaters.
Wait, now, which one is first, Labor Day or Memorial Day? It's the first one, not the second one.
Yeah, the end of May is what you're talking about.
Yeah, the end of May, whenever you can sit out there and, you know, you could just like that's one of the best times you could ever have. Just sitting there watching that nonsense.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Rich? Caterpillar's coming out with a truck? I'd love to find an old Duramax 2500. I think that'd be.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something different. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. You know, it's a big investment, so you kind of need to make smart moves. You know.
A Ford or a Dodge. I was thinking about one of those expeditions. The Armada. That thing pulls like 9,300 pounds. Man, that should be good. But didn't you say, Chuck, those Nissan transmissions just they're not great?
Well, if you guys are interested, I watch a lot of Scotty Gilmer's, or is it Kilmer?
Kilmer.
Kilmer, yeah, with a K. I watch him a lot on YouTube, and he despises those Nissan transmissions. But you know, mine's kind of got a double whammy. The transmission's probably not all that great, and then you got the engine's a 4.0 liter V6, but it's got 3 timing chains.
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah, because it's got 2 cams, and then
yeah, it's a dual overhead cam. See,
right. That's
so
not
it's
so
got
bad.
3.
As long as their chains are not, they're not.
But that's one thing that Scotty talked about that he didn't like about that motor, that particular motor.
But I mean, those chains aren't going to stretch. I'm not like.
Yeah, they will over time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, over 150,000 miles or something.
Well, I don't know.
Big yellow Ford Cat, huh? Well, how much is that going to be? If it's got Cat's name to it, you know that thing is going to be expensive.
Yeah, you can't really get a truck now for less than, what, 60,000?
Less than the price of your left nut. That's what it's going to cost.
A new truck, you know what I mean? Or something with very, very low miles. You know, you're looking at $60,000. I mean, it's out of the pocket.
That's what I think. I'm just going to get something for like $2,500 and put $2,500 in it.
Yeah, do a revival. Go get a square body. Do a revival. That's what I'll pull my boat around with.
There you go. I want an SUV though, so I can put stuff in the back and go somewhere.
You know, be like Derek at Vice Creek Garage. Just go find an old truck and just gut it and fix it up.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of work, man. And you almost have to have a shop to do that.
Yeah.
But I could do it if I had a shop.
Well, you can still do it.
Yeah, but I'm getting older. I don't want to do that.
Ah, it's good for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you. Well, all right. I just thought I'd call it Chuck and see what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, man.
Huh.
That's all I'm doing. Resting. Got Christmas next week, so
You got all your Christmas presents done?
I ain't even started.
Well, what are you going to get me?
Oh, a gift card.
A gift card? Like, you ain't even going to try. You're just like, here you go. This is what I got you. Go get your own damn gift. Screw you, man. What the heck? No thought behind it at all. Just like, hey, go get your own damn gift.
They'll probably be laughing at that one.
Well, huh.
Well, you can then go buy whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I get it, but you know,
Yeah, you'll get it. You get a gift.
you'll get what you like and you'll like it. uh, what is this? Fish USA. What are they?
Who?
Fish USA. Have you ever used them?
No. Well, what is it?
It's a tackle store.
Oh, yeah.
Save big clearance. Clearance. Achoo!
Easy now.
Got sneeze, man. They got
Yeah,
rods and
Jeff,
reels and lures
when
and
Jeff
baits.
sneezes, when Jeff sneezes, he does it. He just keeps it all in. He doesn't let it out, you know.
Yeah, you know, I was gonna tell you, Lost Viking. I saw somebody making some crappie lures.
Well, don't make crappy lures. That's just not smart.
Yeah, gotta have a going to town rig.
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
I said,
he said, don't quit your day job.
you know, don't make crappy lures. Nobody wants crappy lures.
You can get me, yeah, you can get me a gift card from Hawkeye Marine.
Oh, yeah, I see how that works. Oh, boy.
All right, well, I guess I'm gonna get off of here.
All right.
So if I want to pester you, I'll come in there.
Well, I'd come in there, but it's too far to walk.
Wow,
I'm
man.
not dressed appropriate. So, I'd have to change clothes and stuff.
Oh, Lord, good Lord.
Yeah, man, you gotta be presentable. I mean, you can't just, you know, look like you stuck your finger in a light socket. You know.
Well, sure you can.
Well, you can, but it's not, you know, it's not advised.
It's not advised.
Right.
Huh. Well. All right, well, I guess we'll talk to you later.
Alright, we'll see you.
Bye. All right, you guys. Been on here for a little while. Not sure what else to talk about. Anyway, thanks for joining in. How many garage pops? Yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know if he's had any garage pops or not. I have to limit mine. I gotta tell you, man. A couple of them wobble pops and blood thinner, and it's a pretty good buzz. What do they got? Anything new? I do like Tackle Warehouse. At least they've got it kind of organized a little bit. But it's a lot of mainstream stuff, you know. I like going to the little specialty uh, taco shops because a lot of stuff that they have is stuff that is what people are catching them with, and then also like they know like their clientele's in there every day, so they know what's working and what's not, kind of thing. You get a lot of feedback from them, especially like if you haven't been out and been on the lake and checking things out. Those little mom and pop shops are freaking great for that. gosh, there's a lot of it. It's like just the main stuff, you know, like the stuff you can get at Bass Pro, you can get Academy. there's there's the one up there in Old Hickory I'd like to go to. If they haven't closed it down, they may have already closed it down. I saw some blips where they were gonna close shop, so I don't know if they did that or not. Um, I was wanting to try. Let me see if I can find this. It's a Rapala bait. What is it? Rip stop? This is a winter technique. No, that's not it. Let me see. Go by Rapala baits. I was trying to find this bait for you guys. I can never remember. I bought some of them just recently. Oh, here it is. Jig and wrap. This isn't traditionally like an, you know, like the guy, like you were saying, I think Harold saying, you know, ice fishing and stuff. He uses these a lot up north. I could see where this could be great on Prissy Priest on the ledges or even bluff walls where, you know, you're just kind of jigging it, you know, call it a jig and wrap. They come in a bunch of different colors. They got Juicy Lucy. Where's the one? Like the chrome blue would be good on Priest because certain times of year, man, they like that color. A little bit of red there, that chrome, that blue, and then also there's like, you know, standard ones, silver and pearl. I think even maybe that bluegill would be great. They got lots of different ones. I don't know what the Regal Shad. I don't know about that one because a little bit too much purple in it, but definitely like that bluegill. I think that would be great. And it's got a weird fall to it, and in the wintertime, I think this would be dynamite. Still gotta find them, and no matter what you're doing, you still gotta find them to catch them. If you don't find them, I don't care what lure you throw at them. Yeah, they're around though. There is one down. It's kind of a famous one, I think, down there in Gunnersville, which isn't too far. And I'd love to go down there and check it out. And there's a few places. Some of those that, you know, they keep the normal stuff in there. It's really all about what they can sell. Yeah, but I was going to share that with you guys. I don't know if it'll catch anything or not. I just thought it would. They're shad wrap. This is a similar one. Jig and wrap Magnum. But I always thought this one, you know, in that. So you can get them different weights. 3/16. I don't remember what I bought. I bought like they were either 3/16 or 5/16 to match basically the size of the bait fish. Yeah, so yeah, so anyway, I just thought they'd be cool because you can match up the bait fish size and then yeah, okay. I knew you did. I knew you tied your own. But I seen some that somebody had made recently that I was like, wow, there's a really, really good representation of a threadfin shad. And I was kind of like, wow, I could see where, even a small, I don't like Alabama rigs, but I could see where that would really work. And that would work great, actually. But I guess right now is the spoon's time, or should be. Like the umbrella rigs, I never really was a big fan of that. I know a lot of people are throwing those like torrent, is it torrent baits? I see that a lot on Prissy Priest, and I know it works. It's kind of a weird design, but it works. So whatever you know works for you. I'm gonna show you. And spy baits too. I think that would probably be pretty good right now. Where was it at? I don't know where I saw that. Alright, well, I guess it was good hanging out with you guys. Well, anyway, this is the third one, and hopefully it's better than the last couple. I don't know. I still don't know exactly what I want to do here, other than as a way to like talk to you guys directly and not just you know. I love doing the videos, but this I thought would be fun because it's live. I mean, like maybe a little delay, but it's pretty much like if you mess up, you mess up, and that's just it is what it is. But the 6 cents lures are out of my budget range. I know they work, but they're out of my budget range. This time of year, I still throw buzzbait if I can. If I can get away with it. Or a rattling rogue. I go old school. I get out the rattling rogue and get one of those suspended ones. And I jerk it one time and then let it just sit there. Then jerk it. And twitch it. Just let it sit there. Let them come up and look at it. Stare right in the eye. And then a little twitch, and they can't stand it. They're like, oh. Just because it moved a little bit. I don't know what it is. If you get the right cadence, sometimes it can be dynamite. You get them fired up. getting harder to do that through these days. It's like they're getting used to certain stuff. You got to be almost outside the box of what everybody else is doing. It's like they know. It's almost like they come up and look at you anymore, and they're like, "Oh, you tricked me." Yeah, I did. But I don't know. I don't know. Thanks for watching. If I can talk, and hopefully, I don't know if the mic helped or not. The other thing I was using before was real wackadoodle. This seems to be a lot more stable. I like it. Probably upgrade this. This is an old Focusrite I got, and it's been around the block. It's been all over the United States with me, actually. So it might be time to upgrade. And I guess thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, joining me live. And I guess maybe until next time, we'll see you guys or talk to you guys soon. I don't know when I'll do the next one. It's going to be a little bit. Probably after the first of the year. So you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And yeah, thanks. Thanks for a good year.